Speedway. Also the most recent USMTS victor as well. He won a thriller down at Revolution Park in Monroe, Louisiana, 3 wide coming to the checkers. He narrowly won that over Derek Ramirez and Tanner Mullins.
There's been a lot of races this year that, even if you weren't at the event and you can catch up on Racing Dirt and see it, some of the finishes and some of the highlights have just been incredible, the racing this year for the USMTS crew.
Yeah, there's been a ton of highlight moments. I mean, you talk about that being a candidate for Race of the Year. I think of that one as Finisher of the Year because a few nights before that, 81 Speedway in Wichita, I mean, they were side by side the entire distance in that one in the race for the lead. Just fantastic racing all season long. These USMTS modifieds, of course, USRA modified action tonight before we turn back to USMTS tomorrow. But here we go, AJ Hoff and AJ Zorak on row number 1. Out comes the green, 10 more laps as we're underway in heat race number 5. Scattering top to bottom. Look at Dustin Sorensen threads the needle down the back straightaway. Shot out of a cannon in the 19. Amata tries to follow him up through the field. The challenger leader here on lap number 1. Zorak with the lead, but Dustin Sorensen looks to have the fastest car. He'll hit his marks down the back straightaway once again. Going to go motoring by Zorak into turns 3 and 4. That one was a foregone conclusion down the back straightaway that he was just going to go scooting on by the Z29. Zorak's going to try to go after him, but Sorensen looks quick here in the early laps of heat race number 5. That's one of those runs, Pat, that's just too hard to explain when he went flying past about 4 or 5 cars down the back straightaway on lap 1.
Yeah, he went from 6th to 1st in about a lap and a half, and you're right, it looked like he was going 20 miles an hour faster. We'd have to look at Race Monitor and see what his lap times are, but they've got to be some of the quicker ones of the night, I would think.
Right now he's timing out at about a half a second quicker, now about 9/10 of a second quicker than second place Zorak, so he's really stretching the legs. 15.934 for Sorensen to Zorak 16.809 back there in the second place spot. A little further back, Amata's in the 16.6 bracket. He runs in that 4th place spot. But yeah, Sorensen on an absolute rail. He'll improve that to 15.885. 5 in, 5 to go. Now 6 in, 4 to go this time by. Sorensen trying to complete the runaway. Zorak in the 2nd place spot. Hoff, Amata, and Horner. That's the top 5. Here's we work the second half of heat race number 5. Under attack from Jason Cummins. Cummins trying to crack up into the top 5 by the X of Horner. Got the momentum along the top side of the racetrack, and Cummins will jump up into the top 5. Cummins started 7th on the grid. He's picked up a couple of positions now in the 71. White flag comes the air off of turn number 4. 1 more lap to go for Dustin Sorensen here in heat race number 5. Zorak still rolling along the top side of the racetrack over AJ Hoff in the race for 2nd. Amata and Cummins left to duke it out for 4th. That will be the battle to watch coming to the checkers as Dustin Sorensen easily claims heat race number 5. Race for 4th to the checkers. Amata's going to hang on there as the rest of the field finishes this one out. Your top 3 finishers. In 3rd, AJ Hoff. 2nd goes to AJ Zorak. And your heat race winner, a dominating performance there. The driver from Rochester, Minnesota, that MB Customs, Action Engineering powered Ford Metro Inc., Carol's Corn Popcorn, and CJ Auto Sales number 19. How about it for Dustin Sorensen, your winner in heat race number 5. Over 5 seconds, the difference at the checkers of that one, 5.206 seconds as Sorensen dominated heat race number 5. Heat race number 6, we'll have the Candyman on the pole. This one, Josh Hanks, the 99 out of Winona, Minnesota. He he will start front row on the inside with Zach Vanderbeek to his outside, the 33Z out of New Sharon, Iowa. Row 2 on the inside, that's Corey Krabs out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, the 07, alongside Ryan Wetstein, the 90 out of West Concord, Minnesota. Row 3 to the inside, Alex Williamson out of Rushford, Minnesota, the 15W car, alongside the 444 Brooks Strength out of Raymond, Mississippi. Row 4 on the inside, the 02, that's Tanner Mullins out of Wichita, Kansas, alongside Devin Havlick out of Waterloo, Iowa, in the 5D. Your final 2 starters will be Tyler Davis, the 65 out of Hayesville, Kansas, and the 98M, that is Bobby Swanson out of Casson, Minnesota. That'll be your lineup here in heat race number 6. So Josh Angst, regular here to the Deer Creek Speedway. He will start on the front row inside of this one. Zach Vanderbeek, a couple of USMTS victories here at Deer Creek outside of the front row.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh Angst is in the top 5 of the USRA national points right now, Bryce?
Yeah, Angst, a USRA national championship contender in that 99, so an important night here for the 99. We'll start on the inside of row number 1. Solid final heat race coming up here for the USRA Modifieds. Corey Krapser gets a good start there on the 99 of Angst down into turn number 1, and we will wave this one back. So trying to get a more even start there out of the front row of that one. You saw Vanderbeek was able to fire up to the outside, and then Angst didn't go. That allowed Corey Krapser to jump down to the inside, and we have to wave that one off.
Yeah, the drivers, there's a little gamemanship that goes on up there in the front row, and who's going to go first. And Zach was ready to go, and Josh was, kind of holding it back. But we'll see. I think they'll play nice this time. We'll see on the start.
So there we go, looking for a better start. This time off of turn number 4, heat race 6. Ready to come back to green. That's what it's supposed to look like right there. Green flag comes back to the air. Final heat race here for the USRA Modifieds underway. Josh Angst going to grab the top spot away from Vanderbeek. Vanderbeek ready for it, crosses him over. Ryan Wetstein, always quick here at Deer Creek Speedway as well to the extreme high line. He'll find the concrete, though. Some trouble for the 90 down in turns 3 and 4. Corey Krapser, Josh Angst, now Brooks Strength in contention for that second place spot as well. Alex Williamson with a big run down the back straightaway, 3 wide for third. Williamson to the inside, Strength through the middle, Angst up top. Good 3-car battle for third. Off into turns 1 and 2. Angst able to shake him off as we've got Wetstein pulling into the infield. Tough break there for the 90 as he made contact with the outside retaining wall in turns 3 and 4. He will sustain enough damage to end his heat race early. Zach Vanderbeek rolling out in front of this one. The Z-Man looking good here in heat race number 6. Corey Krapser in the second place spot. Angst, Strength, and Tanner Mullins. That's the top 5. Beginning to near the halfway point of heat race number 6. Oh, Strength. A tight slide job there on the 99 of Angst. You can see the left rear sheet metal as Angst making heavy contact with the 444 of Brooks Strength. So some contact between the 444 and the 99 down in turns 1 and 2. And from the looks of that, Angst may have been a little frustrated there on entry into turn 3.
Yeah, I don't want to try to get in their minds of what happened, but 2 drivers very upset, and tore up equipment is the worst part of this whole deal.
Yeah, Brooks Strength is trying to pull Josh Angst from that race car right now as well. Trying to get a hold of whatever he can get a hold of to have a word there with the 99 of Josh Angst after those two get together down in turns 3 and 4. Strength not pleased at all with the 99. So officials will work to remove both those cars from the racetrack there after heavy contact between the 99 and the 444. Again, tight racing over in turns 1 and 2, carried down into turns 3 and 4, and unfortunately heavy damage on both the 444 of Strength and the 99 of Angst. 5 laps completed of 10 here in heat race number 6.
Can you have a replay of that?
Yeah.
So getting Strength's 444 car towed, you can see the damage there on the back end of the 444. Long haul for the driver out of Raymond, Mississippi. Drove up by himself this weekend. He's got a new crew chief in Danny Crane, and he's got a crew chief for the weekend, and of course Hot Carl this weekend, but he met both those crew members up here this weekend, but drove all the way from Mississippi by himself. Got in late last night, early this morning, and I know that's a frustrating way to end the heat race there for the 444 Brooks Strength. Trying to get Angst 99 car cleared from turn 4.
Hopefully both guys can get repairs done and continue on this weekend. And
He went up.
So 5 laps completed, 5 to go. Zach Vanderbeek with the lead, a 2-time USMTS victor here at the, a 3-time USMTS victor here at the Deer Creek Speedway. Somebody that's had an uphill battle this season. You followed the USMTS action, and Vanderbeek, you know, the competition has been elevated certainly, but I know this hasn't necessarily been the most desirable season here for the 33Z, so it'd be nice to see if he can get something turned around here this weekend.
And you know, this is a good way to start it off. You know, there's a lot that goes into that as far as confidence and that, and they're all good cars with all good equipment. So, you know, knocking off a heat race here and having a good run in tonight's feature, that goes a long ways to the next 2 nights. And, you know, vice versa, these 2 guys that got a lot of repairs, it makes the next 2 nights a lot tougher. So it's good to see Zach running up front, and we've got to get back to racing now. You know, there was a lot going on up here too, trying to decide what had happened, and some of you folks at home, I don't know if you saw the replay or not, but we would you know, we hope they just can both make it out there the rest of the weekend.
So they will get Angst pulled into the infield. Corey Krabs, another racer I was able to talk to before tonight's racing program. You know, I asked him how the season's been, and he said, well, we haven't won a lot, but we've been pretty consistent. And you kind of see that anytime the 07's out on the racetrack, and he's looking pretty good here in heat race number 6 as well. So Corey Krabs, another driver looking for a good Jamboree weekend. Of course, Tanner Mullins, he's had a solid season as well off that Rookie of the Year campaign that he won last season. He's got a couple of wins here in the 2021 racing season, both in the state just to the south of us. He won at Hamilton County Speedway in Webster City, Iowa, as well as Mason City Motor Speedway in Mason City, Iowa. So 2 wins this season. So it sounds like they're going to have to hook up to the front and the back of the 99. The double hook is never a good situation, so that is why we will stop the field once we can get the other wrecker back from the pit area and to the back of that 99. In the meantime, if you haven't yet, swing down to the USMTS Souvenir Trailer. Fast Shaft's USMTS Souvenir Trailer open for business with those event t-shirts and hoodie this weekend, so swing down there. All the 2021 apparel available at the Fast Shaft's USMTS Souvenir Trailer as well. Chunky Poodle, I believe they've made the delivery on the Chunky Poodle cookies as well, so you can pick those up at the Fast Shaft's USMTS Souvenir Trailer.
the track is really starting to widen out, Bryce. They're running up on the wall. We're seeing a lot of sparks and that happening. So, it'll be the first time that somebody goes back to the bottom, and we're going to see some really good racing as the night goes on.
Yeah, something that always never ceases to amaze me when you come here to Deer Creek is just to see how wide the racetrack gets, and cars can run multiple lanes. I mean, it just stands out among the racetracks as one of the raciest, widest tracks to get around, and we see that widen out here just in perfect timing, right, as we work through this program. 3 B mains for the B mods, 3 B mains for the modifieds, and then 2 features to cap off the evening. So the track progressing nicely throughout the evening. As always, tip of the cap to the crew here at the Deer Creek Speedway. So again, there comes the wrecker from turn number 2. We'll get him hooked up to the back of Angst's 99. So top 15 in passing points tonight out of the heat races lock into tonight's A main. We've got 5 more laps of heat race action here tonight for the USRA modifieds. Before we tabulate the passing points, top 8 will redraw for the front 4 rows in tonight's A main. The rest will have to work out of those 3 B mains here this evening. Tonight's 3,000 to win USRA modified event to kick off the 23rd annual Featherlight Fall Jamboree. Tomorrow, 5,000 to win for the USMTS modifieds. Same times tomorrow, 6 o'clock Racing Dirt TV pre-race show, 6:20 for group qualifying in the USMTS Modified, 7 o'clock start time. Everything an hour earlier on Saturday for the finale here of the 23rd Annual Featherlight Fall Jamboree. So 5 o'clock pre-race show, 5:20 for group qualifying, and then 6 o'clock race time on Saturday. And as always, if you can't make it out here to the Deer Creek Speedway this weekend, you can always tune in on Racing Dirt TV. However, we invite you to come out and check this great event live and in person. Like we talk about on the pre-race show a little bit, Pat, always cool to roll in here, see all the campers and all the festivities that take place. Just a unique environment that you don't get at many racetracks.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that. It's funny you just brought that up. It's just really neat. We do the pre-race show here, and you just get to see there's so many people here before the races. I mean, this is one of the tracks that I've come to in the country that they tailgate. I mean, this is like a college football game. There's people tailgating here. They come early, they stay, they come for the whole festivities of everything that's involved with Deer Creek, and that's what really makes this race and the Fall Jamboree special.
All the festivities, including the fun after the checkered flag. We have a little bit of fun here after the checkered flag. It does occasionally happen that we don't always get up on time in the mornings to make breakfast, but we do have a lot of fun here. DJ and karaoke tonight. I know Tyler Rinkin will be hot on the scene at that event over the next 2 nights. So here we go. Final 5 laps of heat racing action here tonight for the USRA Modifieds. Good restart for Tanner Mullins. Down into turns 1 and 2, ready to strike on the 33Z of Zach Vanderbeek. Here comes Krabs, her big run for the 07. Williamson going to follow suit as well. Good 3-car race for the runner-up spot, working off at turn number 4 as Vanderbeek will lead with 6 in and 4 to go. 6 in, 4 to go. Vanderbeek on top. Krabser sneaks to the outside of the 15W of Williamson off at 2 and down the back straightaway. Williamson able to hang on over the 02 of Mullins in the race for third. A lot going on. 2nd through 4th right there.
I was just about to say that. If Zach had a rear view mirror and he'd be seeing a heck of a show, but he's sitting out there cruising right now.
Williamson's going to take a dive down to the inside, try to make it a race for 2nd here in the final couple of laps. Williamson was diving deep to the hub of the racetrack, not able to grab a hold of anything, though, and now Tanner Mullins knocking on the back door of the 15W. He's going to have a big run down the back straightaway. Side by side for 3rd as well. White flag coming in the air, 1 to go. Mullins tries to grab 3rd, and he does. Tanner Mullins into the top 3 here with 1 to go. Checkered flag in heat race number 6 into 3 out of turn number 4. Zach Vanderbeek, your winner of the final USRA modified heat race. So there you have it, your top 3 finishers. Tanner Mullins grabs 3rd. 2nd goes to Corey Krabs, and your heat race winner out of New Sharon, Iowa, the Vanderbilt race car, Stowen Racing Engines powered, Casey's, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Rancho Milagro Racing, Taco John's, Go Lithium Batteries, Weir's Machine, and All-Star Performance 33Z. Zach Vanderbeek, your winner of heat race number 6. Just like that, we roll out USRA B-Mod, B-Main number 1. We'll turn it back over to Eric and Tracy here for the first B-Main.
And away we go. Our B-Main lineup coming out right now. Row number 1 out of Owatonna, Minnesota in the 83R. It's Cullen Kath on the pole. Jet Sorensen in the 54 out of Rochester on the outside.
Row number 2, the 155 is Gavin Shaw out of Brownsdale, Minnesota. Outside the 8X, that is Josh Roney from Postville, Iowa.
Inside, row number 3, Kyle Anderson out of Decorah, Iowa in the 98, and Anton Nelson out of Hayfield in the 44Z to the outside.
Row number 4, the inside, the 80J, that is Lee Johnsgard out of Fountain City, Wisconsin. The 56H of Brandon Hare from Elma, Iowa.
Inside, row number 5, Zach Elward out of Hayfield and Eric Cans on the outside out of Winona.
Row number 6, the inside, that is the 88 of Brady Bolin out of Winona, Minnesota. And outside the 83S, Billy Steinberg from Casson.
Your 7th row inside, the 22H of Jamie Hiller out of Waterville, Minnesota, with Tracy Johnson out of Lake Preston, South Dakota in the 19J to the outside.
Row number 8 on the inside, that 65, that is Chris Jackson out of Lebanon, Missouri. And outside the 55 of Brody Shaw from Brownsdale, Minnesota.
Inside, row number 9, Jordan Gruby out of Cresco, Iowa in the 17, and Hunter Nelson out of Peterson, Minnesota in the 52 to the outside.
Final car on the field, that is the 21K of Dave Kennedy out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
They will get this track packed in the way they want it right now, and we should maybe look for one more lap around the mighty Deer Creek Speedway before they shut down the caution lights and turn our B-Mods loose for the first of 3 B-Mains, Tracy. We are going to have a lot of racing on this track tonight.
We are. We've got the top 15 in passing points automatically went into the main event. The top 8 redrew, and so the 24C of Jim Chisholm drew pole. Caden Kath will be outside pole. Ben Modry will be inside the 2nd row. Lyndon Johnson will be outside the 2nd row. And then we've got Greg Pfeiffer Jr. on the inside, Tiana Mattoon on the outside, and then it's Colby Mann and Hunter Kennedy. Though they're going to be the top 4 rows in the main event, and the top 5 out of these B-Mains will fall in at the back of the main event. And here we go, one of 3 B-Mains. Get ready to go. We are green flag racing.
Here comes Kath down the front stretch. Sorensen to his outside as they blow off into turn number 1. Jet Sorensen on the high side takes the early lead down the back straight.
We've got Cars Dyson for the lead early on. A little bit of contact on the bumper there, but we have Jet Sorensen in 54 continuing to lead. We've got Kath, we have got Roney and Shaw. Actually, we got a 5-car battle now with Brandon Hare jumping up into the mix.
Coming from the middle of the pack, he was on that 4th row on the outside. Brandon Hare's now up into 4th place as they come by the flag stand. But Jet Sorensen in that 54 with a brand new 9-inch forward rear end underneath the back of that hot rod, showing him the way as he blows it into turn number 3.
Roney on that top shelf. We've got Kath down low, vying for 2nd place. We've got a good 4-car battle actually for 2nd on back there as they come around turn 2.
Tracy, you're right. Look at that 3 wide between Hare and Kath. Now they spread out a little bit, still 3 wide as they fight for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position down the front stretch. 4 laps in the books out of 15.
That 23K of Eric Cans jumping into the top 6, starting deeper in the field. Kath now to drop low. We've got Hare up top, still in 5th place, but Jet Sorensen is checking out in this B-Main.
That 54 of Jet Sorensen down the backstretch, up on the high side, showing them the fast way around Deer Creek Speedway. But Roney and Shaw and Hare and Cass all battling for everything from second to sixth on back.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of momentum going, but he's trying to lock down that low side. We've got a car up in the wall in turn 2, but everyone keeps on going. It's Sorensen all up front in that 54.
7 out of 15 in the books. You could say we're about halfway here, folks. This time by as Jet Sorensen stretches out the lead, smooth as glass as he comes out of turn number 4 to complete lap number 8 of our first B-Mod B-Main.
The 8X of Roney comfortably in second place. Gavin Shaw looking good in third place. The 56H of Hare gets a run, not able to really gain a lot of ground, but looking really good in that top 5 right now. Jet Sorensen still way out front, a straightaway lead on the rest of the field. That 8X of Roney in second place. We have got Shaw still in third place. That 56H of Hare closed in, dropped back, but he's trying to drop into that low groove, see if he can pick up some spots, but it's still Sorensen out front.
Jet Sorensen setup matches what Deer Creek Speedway demands for tonight. He's on the go pedal with that Legacy Concrete sponsor number 54. Blast out of turn number 2, coming down the backstretch. Still got that lead over Roney and Shaw, Brandon Hare, and Cullen Cass.
There's that 54 Jet Sorensen looking smooth out front. 3 laps to go here in your B-Main number 1. Again, top 5 will tag on to the back of that main event. Sorensen now trying to drop down and change up his groove just a little bit as we've got 2 laps to go.
Lap traffic going to come into play here as Jet Sorensen heads down the backstretch. He's got 2 laps to go here. We got the 2 to go that last time by. He will take the white flag, your leader. Legacy Concrete number 54 of Jet Sorensen takes the white flag. 1 to go, Tracy.
All right, here we go. Jet has got to maneuver around some of that lap traffic. Hopefully no issues. A couple turns to go. Roney still in second place. We've got Hare and Shaw trying to duke it out for third place. And it is going to be Sorensen taking that win. Roney in second, Hare third, Shaw in fourth. And Chris Jackson from the back of the pack, cracking that top 5, putting him into the main event. Again, he had that DNF in his heat race, so wow, what a run from the 65 of Jackson, and that is just a B-Main.
Yeah, no kidding. all the way back from 15th position to finish 5th. Like you said, it was a great run from the Lebanon, Missouri B-Mod driver, the number 65. And here comes the B feature, number 2 for your USRA B-Mods. On the pole, Philip Eide in that 28T out of Decorah, Iowa. And to his outside, the 07 of Drew Williams, 7W of Drew Williams out of Rochester.
Row number 2 in the inside, the 25, that is Joe Chisholm out of Osage, Iowa. And outside the 14M, Brian Malstead from Ionia, Iowa.
Row number 3, Channing Warner out of Owatonna, the Trailer sponsor 27, and Sawyer Swatek out of Ridgeway, Iowa, in the 67 to the outside.
Row number 4 in the inside, the 27K, that is Kevin Joachim out of Larchwood, Iowa. Outside the 2C, that is Cole Benrott out of Byron, Minnesota.
Lee Volkman on the inside of row number 5, and Christopher Dino out of Casson in the 98D to his outside.
Row number 6 in the inside, the 955, that is Lucas Grossinger out of Chaska, Minnesota. And outside the 40, that is Colton Kramer out of Pine Island, Minnesota.
On your 7th row, Dylan Crawford out of West Union, Iowa in the 83, and Lily Reps out of Utica in the 29 to the outside.
Row number 8 on the inside, the 97-2, that is Josh Winsky from Rochester, Minnesota. And outside the 80, that is Dustin Johnson out of Mitchell, South Dakota.
Row number 9 on the inside, Dynamite Dustin Von Hagen out of Glenville, Minnesota in the 30V, and Cole Suko out of Cresco, Iowa in the 75 to the outside.
Rounding out the field in the 97 Junior, that is Landon Volkman out of Rushford, Minnesota. 15 laps ahead for this bunch of cars.
We thought we might still see Dustin Von Hagen, but he's a scratch for this race, so everybody moves up one position. At least on the back row, that is. And here we go. We're green once again. Philip Heidi leads him by the Trelo flag stand. And he's crossed up as he comes through 1 and 2. A little bit of contact there in the bottom of turn 1 and 2. That'll bring a caution back onto the speedway here.
The 28T of ID will get charged for that caution. He will go to the tail of the field, so they're going to cross things up and get this complete restart. Heads up on the Grand Meadow Lions Club 50/50. Get your tickets. We'll be doing last call in a couple races. The half right now is about $1,000. So good job. We hit the $1,000 mark. Keep purchasing those tickets. They're walking around selling, or you can head on down to the courtyard to the tent and purchase those tickets. 1 for $1, 6 for $5. Again, somebody's going to be going home with over $1,000 in their pocket tonight.
I think I might need to go get a ticket, Tracy. What do you say? $1,000, 4 digits. Come on now. That'll pay for some gas money to get back to the house. Of course, it'll probably all go to my beautiful bride, which is what it should do, right? Just give it to the Mary. And then everything's happy. Mama's happy. Everybody's happy. That's the way that rolls. But for now, Philip Heidi will take his position at the rear of the field in that blue and pink number 28. And that will put our leader is none other than Smoke Chisholm and Drew Williams out of Rochester. We did not complete a lap, folks, so that is why we are starting in a traditional double file restart to start this race.
Again, with ID out, that puts Williams on the pole. The 25 of Chisholm outside. Side by side, we are getting this one going in a good way. Chisholm up top, taking over that lead. So we're going to do a second do-over here in B main number 2.
Still don't have a lap completed, Tracy, so we will go, I believe we're going to go a traditional double file restart once again. I believe as you're looking at Christopher Dino making a U-turn there in the middle of 3 and 4, he will get his position back, but he was at the back of the field, roughly speaking, anyway. So they'll bring him back around, and Drew Williams double file. That'll put Joe Smoke Chisholm in the 25C on the outside of row 1. Drew Williams to the inside. Brian Malstead, Channing Warner, in case you're wondering, folks, the caution was thrown on the car down in turn 1 and 2, and Channing Warner had gotten that Trelo 27 spun around after the fact. So as he gets his position back, and the Meyerhofer crane and rigging caution lights are down, Tracy, and we're ready to go green once again.
All right, let's try 3 times a charm. We've got Williams and Chisholm bringing them around, waiting for the cone zone, and we have a green flag waving once again.
Smoke on the high side, standing on the throttle as he jets off down the backstretch, takes him into turn number 3, assumes the lead. We're trying to complete lap number 1, and no. Nope. Turn number 1 and 2, we've got a couple of them crossed up there. It looks like the 80. And the caution is on the 83, evidently, as we hear from race control. That 80J is... Nope, that's Johnson. Dustin Johnson out of Mitchell, South Dakota in the black and white 80. So Drew Williams and Smoke Chisholm will make it attempt number 3 to see if we can complete a lap here. Right now, Dustin Johnson sits down there in the bottom of turn number 3. They're just assessing how extensive the damage is to his hot rod. And then he will assume his position at the back of the pack here. But then again, they called the caution on the 83. So the 83 will be on the tail of the field. Johnson here pulls up behind Winsky. 97.2 of Josh Winsky. Right ahead of him. The Meyerhofer crane and rigging caution lights are down once again. Drew Williams, it is your race to start, sir. Smoke to your outside. Brian Malstead right behind you. Channing Warner to the outside. And it is once again go time at the creek.
Driving in, Malstead moving up. It was 3 wide as they crossed the flag stand. It's Chisholm up top, but here comes Malstead in that 14M. We got Williams up top. Good race. Let's string more than 1 lap in a row together.
We have completed the first lap, Tracy. There we go. Our wish has come true. At this point, we've got Smoke up on the high side, running the cushion with all the momentum, and Malstead just digging on the bottom, trying to find his way around. And here comes Christopher Dino into the top 5.
All right, 3 wide for 3rd place, but it is still Chisholm out front, Malstead in 2nd.
So we were able to get 2 laps in. We'll check with race control. I think the 2nd lap counted because the leader did pass under the green flag before the caution came out, I believe. But we will check with the powers that be and get back to you here, folks. 2 down out of 15. We are counting that 2nd lap, and we will get things straightened around here. Now it'll be a Delaware double file restart, Tracy, as we finally got a couple laps in the books.
Woohoo! Like I said, hey, let's get more than 1 in a row, and we did. We got 2, so a lot of laps to go yet in this one.
Yeah, now you look at that poor number 80 there of Mr. Johnson, and yeah, that's going to require a little sheet metal reparation there. But you know what? He's still out here running, and as any driver will tell you, as long as I got a shot, as the car's still running, I got a shot. They're going to take down the caution lights, Tracy. Looks like we're going to give it a go one more time. Go green at the creek.
There we go, creeping into turn 4. The green flag is waving once again. We've got Chisholm up front, Malstead. Dino, the first 3 as we come around turn 2. We got Warner in the middle trying to find his way through with Williams in 4th place.
here they come. Your leader right now. Oh, we got hard contact in the middle of 3 and 4. That'll be another caution here at Deer Creek Speedway during our
I think the 27 of Warner coming into 4 was just kind of stepped on it, and around he went. The caution is on the 27 of Warner. The 28T down here on the front stretch has a tire down, it sounds like, so he will have to go pit side.
They will get the wreckers at full send here in just a moment. We're going to have to give the 28T a push or put him on the hook. He's got a shoe that's flat on that one. And then we'll have an opportunity as I believe we still have 4 laps that we've completed here, but that's our 5th caution now on this race. So at some point at Deer Creek, once you've had so many cautions, we start to reduce the number of laps for the race. So we will lean on, and wait for the decision from race control. If we have another caution at this point, we're going to have to figure that out. Big thanks to National Fleet Graphics for helping us out all season here. They've been part of this and title sponsor for the King of the Creek, which Jim Chisholm was able to win this year for the 2nd year in a row, repeat as the champion. This is his little brother. I believe he's just about to turn 15. Joe Smoke Chisholm. You know where he got the nickname Smoke. He's had it since he was about 10 years old. Teachers knew to call him Smoke when he went to school. And now that little man won his first feature this year down at Mason City Speedway. And boy, that was a happy moment. I've never seen so many people in Victory Lane. Couldn't be happier for the young man as the Harvest Moon rises over the backstretch and we go green, Tracy.
Looks like they've had enough, and we are single file now on these restarts. We've got 25 of Chisholm up front, 14 Emma Malstad in second as they're all falling into place, running that high groove, and we have got a spinner in 4, but hopefully we're going green flag racing yet, and we've got a challenge for the lead, Malstad and Chisholm.
The 14 and the 25 going at it. Both of them running on the high side through 1 and 2. Smoke standing on the hammer as he heads down the backstretch down Deer Creek Speedway. Oh, here comes Malstad on the bottom, looking for a little bit of dig. Chisholm, momentum. They're side by side at the flag stand to complete lap number 6.
We've got the 9:55 Grossinger into 3rd place. It was a great 3-wide battle with Grossinger, Williams, and Dino for that spot as they come into, the leaders touching a little bit with lap traffic there, and they are going into turn 2, but it is still Chisholm up top.
97 of Volkman off the wall hard there in the middle of 3 and 4, but here comes your leader as they come out of turn number 4. It's still going to be Smoke Chisholm in the number 25 as they lap number 8.
Chisholm and Malstad out way ahead of 3rd on back. We've got a battle, Grossinger and Dino, and we've got one more caution. We've got Rep stopped in the top of turn 4. Yellow is out once again. 8 laps of 15 down, and
Well, Tracy, I hate to see it, but we've had these kind of caution festivals in the past where you just get one of those races, one of those nights where, you know, the cars just, the track may be changing. Obviously, I think it's a little slicker right now than maybe it was. It's not as heavy. There's been a lot more racing on here by the time we got to these B mains.
And like I've said before, these are just the B mains, and let me tell you, the next B main, stacked. There's a lot of good drivers at the top of the lineup for that B main. So it's doing a lot of digging, trying to get into that main event. So that one's really going to be an interesting race. Again, that will be the last shot for 5 cars to tag on to the back of the main event a little bit later.
And we'll see if the track officials bring the Terrogator out, try to get a little bit of moisture and pull some of the tack back out of this, because, folks, as you look across and you see the sheen through 3 and 4, you know that the track is transitioning. It's becoming slicker before it really starts to rubber up, and then it'll kind of lock down if it gets to the point where it rubbers up. It won't be as multiple line as we've experienced here so far, but that's why Deer Creek Speedway is known for making sure that they get out there and they get ahead of it, and we will see what happens here after we finish this B main, and away we go.
So we got a little bit of time here. So for the USRA B-Mod main event, 20 laps. Again, the redraw puts Jim Chisholm on the pole, Caden Kath outside pole. We've got Ben Modry, Lyndon Johnson in the second row. Third row will be Greg Pfeiffer Jr., Tiana Mattoon, and fourth row will be Colby Mann and Hunter Kennedy. Meyerhofer Crane and Rigging lights are out. We are going to go green flag racing once again. Here is the 25 of Chisholm trying to get a jump over the 14 Emma Malstad. Grossinger running low. Oh, Malstad up into the wall, scrubs the wall a little bit, loses some ground. That's going to give Grossinger and Dino a little chance to move on up, but it is still all Chisholm up front.
Yeah, it's a track like this. As I was just having a conversation with Pat Graham, and you look back, you know, over the years, and as having a chance to drive years ago, and oh, we got another one. Warner looks like he's turned around again here in the middle of turn 1 and 2. They do. It's white flag right now. It looks like Channing Warner is going to continue, and we're going to stay green. He's not in harm's way. Smoke Chisholm down the backstretch. Last lap coming around here. Tracy going to take the checkered flag.
And it is going to be that 25 of Joe Chisholm taking the checkers, the 14 Eva Malstad. Grossinger in third, and wow, pulling off the fourth place, that 98D of Christopher Dino. The 67 of Swatak rounding out the top 5. That's your qualifiers in this one. Again, they will take on to the back of the main event. Woo, we got that one down. We got one more to go, but this one is, we got a lot of heavy hitters in this B main coming up.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. And what you'll see here, folks, is one of the things that we've talked about many, many times. The connection between your right foot and your gluteus maximus in a race car on a track like this is critical. You could have the best setup, but by golly, if you're just a little too heavy on the go pedal and the connection's not there, and boy, before you know it, the car comes around, and we are going to start our lineup right now. Tracy, who do we have on the front row?
Front row, it's going to be that 16 of Dan Hovden of Decorah, Iowa, outside the 6. Dustin Cruz out of Brandon, South Dakota.
Row 2 on the inside is Sean Walski out of Rolling Stone in the 95X, with Parker Hale out of Grand Meadow in the 28 to his outside.
Row number 3 is the 07 of Logan Alseth out of Winona, Minnesota, outside. The 28J Jackson Hale from Grand Meadow, Minnesota.
On the inside of row number 4, it's Taylor Osrud, the Ridge Runner out of Hayfield in the 3A, and Jimmy Brozett out of Decorah, Iowa in the 75X.
Row number 5 on the inside, the 28R, that is Ryan Thorsten out of Decorah, Iowa. Outside the 1Z, that is Zach Davis from Lonsdale, Minnesota.
Inside, row number 6, Brayton Cisneros out of Blooming Prairie, Minnesota in the 4, with Harley Days out of Winona, Minnesota in the 87H.
Row number 7 on the inside, the 45, that is Cole Lonergan out of Dexter, Minnesota. And outside the 21S, that is Brian Schott from Red Wing, Minnesota.
Inside of row number 8 is none other than Brandon McFarland out of Austin in the 82. And next to him is Brandon Allen out of Chatfield in the 36.
Row number 9 on the inside, that is the 43, is Zach Brom out of Winona, Minnesota. And outside the 20J, Jeremy Grantham out of Allison, Iowa. Again, 15 laps the distance. This is the final shot for these cars to get into the main event. Top 5 will advance.
Meyerhofer, Crane and Rigging caution lights are down. It is up to Mr. Hovden and Mr. Cruz out of South Dakota to light the fire and send them. We're green once again at Deer Creek. B main number 3.
Walski trying to move up side by side to jump into that lead early on. We've got Cruz up top. We've got Hovden out front. We have got Hale moving on up as well. We've got a lot of cars vying for these top spots. We've got 15 laps, and we've got a caution once again for a car spun in turn 2.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you, it was interesting to watch, but Brandon Allen, Dustin Cruz, and Hovden, those guys were running right up there on the top. And it'll be interesting with kind of no man's land in the middle of the track. You'll have a number of them that'll be right on the bottom, and you'll have a number of them that'll run up there on the top, and they will literally be polishing the right rear quarter panel against the concrete here at the Deer Creek wall.
Complete restart. We've got Hovden and Cruz coming on in for the green flag. Sean Walski in the 95X jumping in for the mix right early as we go around turn 2. Got into the wall, was able to straighten it back out, but we have got like mayhem in turn 1 and 2 once again. So bringing it back on down to a caution. So not sure just yet which cars are involved there. There was a car spun, and I think it was a little delay when he was hit by another one. So Hovden, like I said, going into turn 2, he slid up, kind of scrubbed the wall a little bit, came out of it, but he lost a little ground, so probably good for him. They're going to bring him on back, and we'll see how things get shaken up. It looks like somebody lost a radiator, some fluid. They're throwing some floor dry down between turns 1 and 2. Still trying to get cars hooked up from that melee between turns 1 and 2, getting the cars lined up. We got a few laps to go before we go green once again, but at this point, Hovden is going to be on the point. Looks like Walski's locked in a second place. Dustin Cruz in the number 6, third. The 28 of Parker Hale in 4th place, and the 07 of Logan Alseth. Currently the top 5, and again, top 5 will transfer in this event to the tail of the 20-lap feature event this evening.
Special shout out Cody Sexton and the crew up there on the fan zone. I hope you're having a good time. Give us a whoo if you're having a good time up on the fan zone. That's right. Good times. We're glad you're down here and being a part of this tonight. Thank you very much. Also, Orchard Creek Transportation. We appreciate being out there on the party deck tonight. Thanks again to all the sponsors involved tonight. We've got a $300 donations that have been added for the hard charger in the B-Mods tonight. Randy and Sandy Norby, they threw in $100. Yours truly, Eric Tronson of Wealth Management Solutions, threw in $100. And Carol's Corn, as a sponsor on the Brandon Davis 50 to the third, threw in $100. So there's $300 extra on the line for the hard charger coming out of the B-Mod, the USRA B-Mod A main. That should be a good time. I can't wait to see, because they don't know that it's coming yet, right? That'll be nice to come out into Victory Lane when you go out and talk to them, Tracy, and go, hey, by the way, if that ends up being the hard charger, right?
Well, that's just it, depending on who the hard charger is. But man, a lot of these cars, they, like I said, it's these B mains are stacked, so there's a good chance some of these guys transferring from the B main could be that hard charger. They could be the one parking it tonight. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, you know, like we've talked about, and like you experienced last week in that the Altenburg Construction, the Stock Car Nationals. Here's a guy that comes from 15th place on his birthday to win the feature and gets the hard charger, where I believe he actually got it for that race. But what a story to be able to walk into Victory Lane and win a race like that of that magnitude on your birthday, you know? It's that's the good stuff, isn't it, about racing?
Absolutely, and actually at the 3rd annual Stock Car Nationals last weekend, both winners in the hobby stock and in the stock cars, they were both the hard chargers, the ones who won the main event. So it can happen. They can add to their purse on their own. So that'll be interesting to see. Again, we want to thank Featherlight Trailers, Trailer Companies, Orchard Creek Transportation, Scott Brown, and Dave Severson Truck Centers, all for making this first night happen here at the 23rd annual Featherlight Fall Jamboree. And again, everything is being live streamed on RacinDirt.com. So thank you to all of you watching at home. Join us at the track tomorrow night and Saturday night, or keep watching on RacinDirt.com. Hope you're enjoying the show. We've mentioned the top 8 in the redraw for this main event coming up a little bit later, but after that, we've got Troy Hale, Scott Demmer, Kath, Grinstead, Hovey, Schaefer, and Schuby round out that top 15 that made it by passing points. So the top 15.
Walk us through that last lap there with Josh Shanks. You talk about the slider you threw in 1 and 2, and then what happened there in 3 and 4.
You know, he was just a little off the pace, so, you know, I had Tanner on my inside, and so we caught him pretty quick. And once I'd already committed, you know, if I lift, then probably going to take us both out. He's just a sissy and don't know a real slider.
I see you're out of your driver's suit. They say anything to you after we got back down here in the pits?
No, I just, you know, we got a little sheet metal damage and just want to go through everything. Car's good. We want to get it right for tomorrow.
So while I was standing was in 3 and 4, you told Josh multiple times to get out of the car. Did he say anything back to you? Could you hear anything what he was saying to you?
All I could hear was him crying. That was it.
We're here with Josh Shanks, driver of the 99 USRA USMTS Modified. Josh, walk us through the altercation there with Brooke Strength.
Yeah, I mean, he just came in the bottom and clearly ran me up the track. Knew he wasn't clear of me and wiped me out. I went in the next corner and hit him in the left rear, and that's pretty much what happened from there. He thought he was clear and obviously he knew he wasn't. He wiped me out clear as day in 1 and 2.
We see that the triple faux show, Brooks Strength, he's out of his race suit for the night. He's done. What's the damage like in the 99 car?
It's bad enough. I mean, we could race. We could put it together if we wanted to, but we're going to be done. I don't know. We may be done for the weekend.
How does this affect your USRA National Championship point run?
We'll be fine. I mean, the chassis itself is fine. It's all bolt-ons. We can put it back together. Like I say, we could race tonight if we want to, but we just don't really want to do that much work. We're going to start at the back of a B-main. We're just going to put it back together, and I don't know if we'll run the rest of the weekend or not, or just get ready for the rest of the year USRA-wise.
One last question here. We talked to Brooks about what Brooks was saying to you on track. Did you say anything back to him that we couldn't hear through your helmet at all?
No, that was dumb driving by him. It was just no reason to be doing that. So
there you go. This is an in-pit report there from the 99 Josh Shanks race team.
Staley will agree. He picks one out right away. Family Fun Center of Rochester. I tell you what, if you need bar stools for at the house or a dart board or your special darts or pool cues, give them a holler off of 7th Street in Rochester. The caution lights are down. Meyerhofer Crane and Rigging caution lights are down, and we're going green as Hovdom brings them back to the green flag once again at Deer Creek.
That 95X, John Walski trying to pop his nose up there, running a good, strong, low groove. We have got the 28 of Parker Hale on his tail coming around turn 4. Hovden getting a little bit of ground on the top spots. We've got Cruz up top trying to hang on to second spot.
Hovden leads him again. Dangerous. Dan Hovden. Superman leads him around, and they are crossed up 3 ways from Sunday in the middle of turns 3 and 4. One more time. We've got 5 of them that are banging sheet metal and touching tires. That's just nasty right there in the middle of 3 and 4. They'll get them straightened out, and we'll go back again and see if we can't get this under green. Down, looking to complete the other 11 laps as they bring it around one more time. Everybody seems to be in pretty good shape, Tracy. We aren't to a single file restart yet, but you can see it from here, can't you?
Yeah, we are definitely going single file this time. Too many cautions. Okay, now they are told to double up. The Meyerhoff Crane and Rigging lights have been extinguished. Still, it is Hovden on the point. We've got Cruz and Walski. We've got Hale and Osrud now up into the 5th spot, and here we go again.
On the throttle, coming out of turn number 4. He'll complete lap number 5. Nope, because they didn't count the 4th before. Now we've completed lap number 4. Next time by will be completion of lap number 5. Will be a third of the way there through this B main, Tracy.
The 95X of Walski able to get into a little bit of clean air, moved up top, now gaining some ground on Hovden. We've got Hale in 3rd place with Cruz dropping back to 4th. Osrud now trying to make a move out of turn 2, not going to make it happen, but they all kind of settle out as we've got Hovden still leading coming into the flag stand.
Taylor Osrud, comfortable as he ever could be, running up on the cushion. That's where that 3A runs the best. He's chasing down that 6 of Dustin Cruz out of South Dakota, but Superman Dan Hovden leads the way just as smooth as you please, coming out of turn number 4 to complete lap number 8.
Is still Hovden up front. Walski trying to move on up, still comfortable in second spot. We've got Hale in third place, Cruz still in fourth, and we've got Osrud drop back just a little bit, but still running a strong fifth place.
Superman Hovden seems to be the only one of the top 5, Tracy, that's running off the bottom. He does run the high side really effectively, like everyone else is coming out of turn 1 and 2. But boy, look at that. He dives right down to the bottom and hugs that bottom, looking for bite coming out of turn 4. And now here comes some of the other top 5 down there seeking that traction.
Yep, Hovden running that top side. He dives down in turns 3 and 4, but continues to run that top shelf the rest of the way. 95X of Walski now dropping down low, changing his line up a little bit, trying to see if he can't improve and move up.
That's the feel of an experienced driver right there. All these guys in the top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like you stated earlier, this is a loaded B main. There's a lot of talented drivers out here, and they're all trying to search around and find the one place, the one line where their setup matches this Deer Creek Speedway to try to gain another spot. And there goes Osrud trying to pick up another one or hold the one he's got in the top 5.
Osrud and Davis really duking it out there for that spot. Hovden still up front, distance himself from the 95X of Walski. We've got a couple laps to go finally. Let's run this one out.
Here comes our leader, Superman Dan Hovden, coming to the white flag, 1 to go. This is it. If you're going to do it now. We're going to the checkered flag, last lap of our third and final USRA B-Mod B-Main.
Coming in for the checkers, it is going to be the 16 of Dan Hovden, qualifying to throw himself in the back of the main event. The 95X, John Walski in second, 28 of Hale in third. We've got Cruz clocking a 4th place finish, and the 3A of Taylor Osrud also qualifying last in the main event, but he made that main event, so there you have it. B main number 3 of your USRA B-Mods complete. 50-50, it is the last call. So last call, 50-50. Flag down those people that are selling. Purchase your tickets. Head on down to the courtyard to the tent. And with that, we've got 3 modified B-Mains coming up. Pat, Bryce, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Tracy. So just ahead of a trio of B-Mains here for the USRA Modifieds, there'll be a little bit of a track prep session here before